plug the mic in. Anyway, sorry for that interruption. I apologize. But anyways, to pick it up where I was, right, is that I tested both of these batteries. The original one. It turns out to have. Let's see if I can do this in one hand. Six volts. This one is holding. You always want to put the ground on first, guys. I know, I'm all over the place with the damn camera. This is holding 11.2. All right, so now this thing is a little 12-volt 5-amp battery tender thing that's that's wired in. You wire this in, right? You wire this into the battery, right? And then this part is the connector that connects to the cable that charges this. It's got two lights on. One that says charging, yellow. One is green, that says storage. So when it's charged up, it switches to storage mode, and it's like a little trickle charger, like part of an amp or some shit, and it just holds station. Right, well, this thing here has been plugged in since yesterday, 4 o'clock this afternoon. And right off the top, when I plugged it in, I noticed that within a couple of minutes, the charging light quit blinking and the green light went on. So it switched from charging to tender status, right? And I didn't think any of it, you know what I'm saying? So, but it kind of bugged me a little. So I unplugged it to restart it. And within 2 minutes, both of the lights were blinking. Now, I don't know how this thing works, but I know that ain't supposed to be right somehow. And this morning when I come out here to hit the button, it cranked for like about 20 seconds. Just as it was starting to light, you know what I'm saying, it died. Bleh. Right? And this thing was still plugged in. So I'm starting to wonder if this ain't the suspect here. Because, we replaced a fairly decent battery with a new battery not a couple of months ago, and now this battery's dead. Right? And the starter, and this thing got electric starter. Right? So I'm wondering if this, I don't think there's any wiring problems because Jay takes really good care of this bike and it runs good. It does. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to take this battery out, and the way to do that is there's this tie-down strap that goes right here. All right. You take the two nuts out for the tie-down strap, 10 millimeter, right? I use 1/4-inch ratchet. You take the two nuts out for the tie-down out, take the tie-down down, then you disconnect the positive, right, and anything that's connected to it, and then you disconnect the negative, and you make sure you don't touch anything because it's all metal here while the ground is still on or the hot's still on, right, and then you just lift the battery out, right? That's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to hook it up over here to the Sentry. You see about that thing in the shadow. And I'm going to charge it for a couple hours and see what happens, and then we're going to try this all over again. So hang in there, guys, and let me get set up and going for that. Turn the charger off. It's been charging now for about an hour. Alright. So, let's see what the old GB garden bender says. Alright. Put it right there so you guys can see the numbers, I think. Let's see. Alright. It says 13.4. 13.4. When I started, remember it was at 11.2. So it's charged up. This thing doesn't let me check the amperage. So it's just a little cheapo. But anyway, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it back into the little quad, right? And we're gonna fire it up, see if it's good. Well, no, that's not what I'm gonna do. No, I got this really cool tool right here. I've had one of these before. These things are awesome. Right, this is a Chicago Electric battery load tester. Right, it's got a little, this thing is like the best tool. I've done, I think, a review on the one that I had earlier, or I might have done one on this particular tool. Right, but if you guys want, I'll explain how it works again to you. Real simple. It's really simple. Right, what you do is you connect the positive and the negative, Alright, and the first thing it does, first thing it's supposed to do, it just worked a little while ago, motherfucker. Alright. I got it connected wrong. That's why it was going backwards. You connect it, and it tells you, but in the little chart, see, it goes from 0 volts all the way up to 16, right? And right now, this one is holding right at 12, 13 volts. And then it's got the little green chart right there that tells you how many amps, you know what I'm saying, by step. If it's in the yellow, then the battery's weak. If it's in the red right here in the middle and it goes like that, that's 12 volts or less, that's dead. If it's a 6 volt battery, if it's in this red, it's dead. If it's anywhere in the yellow or the green, it's, you know, chargeable. And then it's got the little graph down there, how much you do a load. Now this is what this machine does. You just got a switch here. When you flip the switch, it grounds the battery and it tests it and does a load. And then after 10 seconds, you check the load and you let it go, right? And see how it bounces back. This battery's fucked up because it went straight to the bad, right? And that was right after I pushed the button. Right now it's holding just under 12 volts, so this battery's no good. It's the battery, it's not the charger. So that's why the charger is acting the way it's acting, because this battery's not taking the charge. So the next thing is to charge the old battery back up and see what's wrong there. Right? Now remember, this one's holding 6 volts, but this one hasn't been, you know, connected to anything for a while. Turn it back on. Right now. Now this one says 4.8. Right. Well, the weather has a lot to do with it sometimes, so we're going to turn it back on. I'm going to hit it with 12 volt high for a few minutes. I'd start off right off, you know, like supercharge it, because that's the 4 amp. That's the 4 amp side. And it says it's probably charging it at 10 amps right now, though. We'll come back, see what happens. Hang in there, guys.